night sky over the Strait of Hormuz cracks open with the thunder of screaming engines. Waves explode into white spray as dozens of low-slung speedboats burst from the shadows, hulls skimming the surface at 50 knots, rockets glinting under moonlight. A massive supertanker plows ahead, its steel hull groaning under millions of barrels of crude. One heartbeat later, the first rocket slams home. Fireballs bloom across the deck, black smoke chokes the air while crews scramble, and the attackers vanish into the darkness like ghosts. This is no drill. This is the moment a chokepoint becomes a kill zone, and none of them came back untouched. Welcome to Dark Vault. If you love the raw edge of naval geopolitics and asymmetric showdowns, stick around. Today we're cracking open the untold playbook Iran has used for decades to turn the Strait of Hormuz into the ultimate naval trap. 21% of the planet's oil and a third of its liquefied natural gas squeeze through this narrow 21-mile throat every single day. Shut it down or even threaten it. And global energy prices don't just spike, they detonate. And Iran figured out early that you don't need a blue water navy to own the water. You just need speed, surprise, and sheer numbers. Go back to the 1980s. The Iran-Iraq war is grinding into its bloody sixth year. Saddam's forces hammer Iranian tankers to starve Tehran's war machine. Iran hits back, launching the tanker war in 1984. Over 400 commercial ships take damage by 1987. Insurance rates for Gulf shipping go through the roof. The United States steps in, reflagging Kuwaiti tankers and kicking off Operation Earnest Will in July 1987. American warships now escort the convoys through the danger zone. Iran's regular navy is outclassed, so the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps writes a new rule book. They call it asymmetric warfare, mosquito-fleet style. Cheap, fast, and impossible to swat all at once. The goal is simple: make the strait too expensive for the enemy to use without ever risking a fair fight. The playbook was ruthless and elegant. Under cover of darkness, IRGC speedboats and disguised dhows slip out from hidden coves along the Iranian coast and islands like Keshem. They drop floating mines in the shipping lanes, the kind that bob just below the surface, waiting for a hull to kiss them. Swarms of Boghammer craft, 13-meter Swedish-built rockets boats armed with machine guns, RPGs, and sometimes anti-ship missiles practice hit-and-run runs. Shore batteries of Chinese silkworm missiles wait on the cliffs, ready to scream across the water at supersonic speed. The strategy was never to sink every ship. It was to create fear, raise insurance costs, and force the Americans to bleed resources protecting every tanker that dared pass. Picture the night of July 24, 1987. The first U.S. escorted convoy steams through. Suddenly the Bridgerton, a massive reflagged tanker, shudders as a mine rips a hole the size of a truck in her hull. No one sees the boats that planted it. Weeks later, on April 14, 1988, the guided missile frigate USS Samuel B. Roberts hits another mine while on patrol. 10 sailors are injured. The ship nearly sinks. Washington has had enough. 4 days later, the U.S. launches Operation Praying Mantis, the largest surface naval battle since World War II. American helicopters and warships hammer Iranian oil platforms used as IRGC bases. When Iranian fast attack craft and frigates rush to fight back, the U.S. Navy lights them up. The frigate Sahand burns from stem to stern after taking Harpoon missiles and bombs. Speedboats are shredded by chain guns. By nightfall, half of Iran's conventional surface fleet is on the bottom or burning. But here's the twist. The mosquito-fleet lives on, already learning. Those little boats taught the world a lesson in hardware that still echoes. A single boghammer costs pennies compared to a billion-dollar destroyer. They're fast, shallow draft, and can hide among fishing traffic or hug the coast where big radars struggle. Swarm 30 of them at once, and even Aegis cruisers can get overwhelmed picking targets. Add mines that cost a few $1,000s each, and you've got a weapon that forces the U.S. Navy to spend millions sweeping channels. The IRGC turned geography into an ally. Confined waters mean no room to maneuver, no time to react. One wrong turn, and your billion-dollar warship is a floating target. By the end of the tanker war, the numbers told the story. Iran lost 2 major warships and several platforms in a single day, but their asymmetric hits forced the U.S. to commit dozens of ships and thousands of sailors for over a year. Attacks on neutral shipping dropped sharply after Praying Mantis, yet the playbook survived. Tehran refined it, built hundreds more indigenous fast attack craft, and later layered in drones, unmanned surface vessels, and modern anti-ship ballistic missiles. Three key numbers still matter. 21% of global oil still flows here, the strait is only 21 miles wide at its pinch point, and Iran can surge hundreds of small craft in hours. Look around today, and the same blueprint stares right back. When tensions spike, those same mosquito fleets practice in plain sight, joined now by drone swarms and speedboats packed with explosives. The geography hasn't changed. The playbook hasn't either. It doesn't need to win a conventional war. It just needs to make the price of passage too high for the world to ignore. In the narrow waters of Hormuz, a few dozen determined small boats can still tie down the mightiest navy on Earth. So the next time you hear about another flare-up in the Gulf, remember this: the kill zone is already drawn. The question isn't if someone will test the playbook again, it's whether the world can afford the answer. What do you think? Will Hormuz stay quiet, or is the next swarm already loading rockets? Drop your take in the comments. Smash that like button if this breakdown hit hard, and subscribe to Dark Vault for more breakdowns that cut through the noise. We'll see you in the next one. Stay sharp out there.